Okay, so I already touched on this a little bit in the last video, but I want to do just two quick examples with you about segment addition, because the segment addition postulate is really important. And basically the segment addition postulate, what it says is that the two small pieces add together to make the big piece. So in this case, AB plus BC, those two segments add together to give you the big segment AC. Okay, and this is kind of yes and no, this is correct, but I'm just going to go ahead and draw those lines so you practice that segment notation. So now if we set up an equation, AB is 4x plus 6 plus BC, it says, is 7x plus 15. And if we read the problem, it tells me that AC is 120, so I'm going to equal that to 120. Now if we go back and remember our algebra rules, all of this stuff is on the left-hand side of the equation, which means we can combine it together because it's all on the same side. So I'm just going to combine like terms. So I'm going to add my 4x and my 7x together to give me 11x. I'm going to add this plus 6 and plus 15 together. It's going to give me plus 21. It'll let me write. And then equals 120. And now we're just doing some basic algebra. Subtract 21 from both sides. That gives me 11x equals 99. And then I'm going to undo this multiplication and divide. That's going to give me the x equals 9. Now, we want to go back and read. It's important, geometry, ACT, to make sure we read the question and actually answer what it's asking. It says, what are AB and BC, which means they want me to take this number and plug that in to find those two values. So if I want to find AB, I'm going to plug in 9 where it says x. So I'm going to do 4 times 9 plus 6. And we can use a calculator to do that, and that should give you 42. All right, same thing on BC. It says BC here, I'll do this in a different color, is 7x plus 15. So I'm going to plug in the 9 there. 7 times 9 plus 15. Goodness gracious. All right, I'm pretty sure that should be 78. You all may check me because I'm doing that math in my head, but those would be your actual final answers, that AB is 42 and that BC is 78. And one way you could check yourself is actually add those two numbers back together and see that you get 120. And when you do, so that's how I know that I'm right. All right, our second example, and this is the only other one we're going to do. This one is a word problem. So in geometry, I want you to put a star in your notes right now. In geometry, if you don't have a picture, draw one. So your note should tell you always draw a picture if you don't have one. So this says there's a segment ZY. So I'm going to draw a segment ZY. And it has a midpoint M. Now remember, that means that M is perfectly in the middle of those two points on this segment. It says the distance from M to Z is 5x plus 2. And the distance from Y to Z, so that's this whole thing, is 12x minus 16. Now this is kind of weird because I know that I should have two small pieces that add to give me a large piece, right? I should have ZM, that's this first small piece, plus MY, that's the second small piece, should give me the entire thing, which is Z all the way to Y. And I'm missing this MY part, but they give me a very important piece of information. They tell me that M is the midpoint. So you should have that written down as a bullet for this problem. M is the midpoint. So if M is the midpoint, that means that these two pieces, Z to M and M to Y, should be the same size. So if Z to M is 5x plus 2, what should Y to M be? And hopefully you can figure out that that should also be 5x plus 2. All right, so now we're going to set up our equation. I've got 5x plus 2 plus 5x plus 2 equals 12x minus 16. All right, same idea. We're going to combine like terms. That's going to give me 10x plus 4 equals 12x minus 16. I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. This is just basic algebra, so I'm just reminding you of how this algebra works. Now I need to move, so if I move the 10 to one side, to move the x's on the right, I need to move something the other direction. So I'm going to move that negative 16 the other way by adding 16. All right, I'm running out of room here, so I'm going to come back up. That's going to give me 20 equals 2x, and if I divide, that gives me that x is 10. And if I go back and read the problem, remember that's important, always reread the problem, it says find the value of x. Is that what I did? Yes, that's what I did. I found the value of x was 10. All right, that's all you need for today.